Welcome Beyond the Velvet Rope, the podcast where we go deeper than titles, transactions, and surface level success to uncover the mindset, discipline, and personal journey behind the people making an impact. Today, I'm joined by my brother, Bruno Jean. Bruno is a man with a strong sense of discipline, growth, and intentionality. And in this conversation, we're going to explore the experiences that shaped him, the battles that refine a person, the role of instinct and preparation, and what it really takes to keep evolving in a world that constantly tries to pull people away from their center. This is a conversation about identity, resilience, growth, and becoming. So whether you're building a business, rebuilding yourself, or simply trying to move through life with a greater purpose and clarity, I believe there is something here for you. Welcome Beyond the Velvet Rope, Mr. Bruno Jean. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you. Thank you for having me. And I love that shirt, by the way.
Hey,
Agent from
come on, man.
Abundance.
Agent from Abundance, you know how we rolling, Bruno. So here we go. There are many parts to the man Bruno. And yes, we talk about Bruno regardless of what they said in the movie. Yes, we talk about Bruno. No. Talking about Bruno, tell us something that we don't know about you, sir.
Man, you know what? You're gonna laugh, but outside of the people that know me really closely, I am a lover of nature. And I've been that way since I was a young, ever since I could remember, man. I remember being in Haiti, catching snakes in the backyard and, lizards and frogs and stuff. And I think even at one point in life as a kid, I wanted to be a herpetologist. So just,
So what happened? What was that? Because that's a real dream, right? So what happened to go from herpetologist to everything else?
man, I would say just life. I started playing football. I got to a point where I was big into sports. Even then, I still, thought of myself like as the crocodile hunter. Like my old football coach, man, he'll tell you a funny story where there was like a huge iguana on a football field, and I started chasing it down. And I swear, to this day, anytime we meet up anywhere, he always brings up that story, man. It's hilarious.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we are here with Bruno Jean, Bruno Jean, Bruno Jean. You mentioned in Haiti. Let's talk about this cultural piece because this is a
Let's
big
do it.
piece
Let's
of
do
where
it.
we're
Let's do
going.
it.
What's your culture? What's your heritage, brother? Come on.
So I am Haitian. I'm actually mixed, but I lean more towards my Haitian side because I grew up around that most of my life. My mom left Haiti when I was 5 years old. My roots, man. I'm proud of my roots. I'm proud of the history of Haiti. I'm proud of, a lot of great things that my people are doing. And that's one of my motivations, man, is to be one of those people that represent us in a great light.
Okay, so what is the correct pronunciation? And here's why we met through real estate class
Yeah.
and we were talking about culture, and the sweetest word in any language is a person's name. There's no more sour word in any language than a person's name mispronounced. So what is the correct pronunciation? Now, did I get Bruno correct?
Well, it depends. It depends. That's
Come
one of
on,
your
talk
favorite
to
words.
me.
That's one of your biggest words right there. So it
It
depends.
depends. So talk to me.
So if you're Haitian or French, you're gonna say Bruno Jean. That's how you say my name. But obviously, if you're speaking English, it's Bruno Jean. Sometimes, me personally, I'm not. I feel like it's okay to pronounce my name in different ways because depending on the language, it is different. Jean is the French version of John. So when Americans say Jean, they'll say, and they try to say it in the Haitian accent, they'll say Jean. Which is to me, it's right. I don't have a problem with.
Okay, so now we're already learning about the many compartments or the many sides of Bruno. And so, well, now first, let me ask: is Bruno your real name, or is there something more to Bruno?
That was Bruno. I was named after my great grandfather on my father's side. Yeah. So it carries. I mean, to me, I love my name, man. It's a strong. Everybody always says it, man. It's such a strong name, and I'm like, yeah, it represents me.
Man, so of course you like, man, what other name could you have for me? Look at me.
Exactly,
Come on.
exactly,
What are you talking
exactly.
about? All
Listen,
right. So
if you a bald brother with a beard, your name has to be Bruno. It just makes sense.
are you telling me I gotta change my name to Bruno since I'm a
But
bald
you
brother
might
with a
have to.
beard?
You might
Man,
have
but
to, man.
see,
No, Neil's a
it,
good name too. Neil's a great
nah,
name.
nah, you like, oh, Neil's a good name. You just saying that because you know I'm named after my daddy. I appreciate it, man. I would change my name to Bruno, ladies and gentlemen, but I don't want to be known as Little Bruno because see, then we're gonna have a whole nother problem. So I do want to get into some conversation. You talk about your people, your heritage, and then you said one of your drivers, one of your motivations
Yeah.
here on Beyond the Velvet Rope, it's not just about the transactions, it's not just about the success. And it's so we're looking at the journey, but also maybe the beginning. So, what is it that drives you to be better today than you were yesterday?
Man, I would say the biggest driver is I'm gonna put on my mom. I don't know if that sounds cliche. Just seeing my mom being an immigrant coming here at I think she must have been in her 40s, not speaking English and having to learn and adjust and sacrifice a whole lot to raise her 2 boys, man. That's my motivation.
Okay, so now you look at mom and you have excuses, right? All excuses have to go out the window.
It has to. It has to. Listen, she had no excuses herself, you know? So,
And
I have to take it a step above.
if there ever was an opportunity, if there ever was a time for someone to make excuses, coming to a foreign land, not speaking the language, and then having to figure this out. And if mommy doesn't have any excuses, then what are we gonna do,
What
right?
you said. Exactly. I can't think of an excuse, man, to be honest. I
All
can't.
right. So now I know you. I am a fan, a follower. I'm a colleague. Let's talk about who is Bruno. What do you do professionally? What are some of your hobbies? Because I think that's going to allow the audience to understand where we take this conversation.
For sure, for sure. Well, first and foremost, I'm a martial artist. I've been training jujitsu. I've fought MMA amateur on an amateur level. I fought kickboxing, Muay Thai. I've been training now for over 14 years. Yeah, man, it's been a big part of my life. Before that, I was a football player. So that's me. I work for the airline industry. So as far as hobbies, I'm an avid traveler. I love to read. These are all little parts that make the whole, which is me.
But how come you didn't even mention real estate professional, Bruno?
And I'm a real estate professional. That's number one. That is number one.
Not, okay.
Right.
So let's talk about your priority list. So
Yes.
real estate professional, yes, but
Yeah.
you said martial artist one. And
Yeah.
so I know you said real estate is number one. I would disagree, and I'm going to disagree with you openly in
Okay.
front of your face. I believe that martial artist is one because I think that it shapes so much of how you do your business and who you are and the man that
I
you are. Are
agree.
you okay with me disagreeing with you there?
I'm okay with that for sure.
Okay. All right. So now here's what I want to know because not everyone knows you. They will after this episode and after subsequent episodes, ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah,
when
for
when we
sure.
get Bruno Jean here on Beyond the Velvet Rope podcast again. What experiences have formed you as the man that you are today? Like maybe not just one, but are there a handful of experiences that you look back at in addition to seeing mom and mom coming over here? What other experience have made you say, well, I think this was important and vital and crucial to me being the man I am today?
Man, I would go on to say the another important person in my life, my godfather, who took the mantle of my father. We're not blood related in any kind of way, but man, when I tell you, I could remember my earliest memories are with him. And I felt like he's shaped the way that I view life as far as, being there for people, just giving support, just mindset, that right there, big part of my experience in life for sure. I had to put him in there.
Okay, so now I want to maybe continue down that same path, right?
Okay.
So for those of us who know you, right, we see you, and when you say martial artist, and then you talk about not making excuses and having the drive and the ambition and the goals that you have. So we understand that you have a certain level of discipline, and there's a little bit of edge to Bruno, right? So we look at him, and so ladies and gentlemen, you look at him, you be like, okay, he looks nice, but I don't know if I would want to meet this guy in a dark alley, especially after he's been training martial arts for
It's the
14
glasses,
years.
man. The glasses make me look nice for sure.
So take the glasses off.
Then now,
Oh, yeah,
now
no,
I
no,
take
no,
that
no.
off. I'm like I'm blurry.
No, no, no. Put the glasses back on. You're mean, sir. So we're looking at Clark. Okay, Clark Kent. Thank you. It's so
Clark
good
Kent,
to see
yeah.
Clark Kent
You
here.
know, it's so funny. I must have the most approachable face because I'll be out in the street, every homeless man will come talk to me. I swear.
You're like, man, I'm supposed to be a terror, right? I'm supposed to just be this bad guy. So here we go. You carry yourself with a certain discipline and edge. Where does that come from? Does your godfather, did he have anything to do with that? Is it just the martial arts? Is it upbringing? Where did the discipline and the edge to Bruno come from?
I think it's a a mix of that, mix of obviously my mother seeing what my mother did, uh, my godfather being in my life, my brother as well. I have an older brother. I always I would always spend time with people that were older than me. A lot of times, like he would take me everywhere, man. Like, some of his like close friends are my close friends.
And you're talking about your older brother.
My older brother, he's
Okay, so
six
hold on,
years old.
hold on, hold on. So here's what I want to know, because anytime we hear, like, I have two great brothers, right? I have an older
Uh-huh.
and like great brothers. That's not everyone's experience. What kind of older brother did you have? Did you have a good older brother?
No, for sure. I mean, well, listen, we fought every day. I'll say that we fist fought every day. So that's probably one of the reasons I got into martial arts as well because I lost every fight. But he was a great brother, man. He would take a lot of the slack from my mom.
Hmm.
Take me to school, pick me up, go to man, my brother used to go to every football practice, every
That's so
football game.
cool, dude.
'Cause I don't know if you're familiar with the Caribbean families, man. The parents they don't care about the sports, man. It's we say in Creole, "L'église, la caille, l'école." Church, home, and school. That's it. You know,
Wait, 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 wait. Repeat that one more time in Creole.
la caille, l'école. That means church, home, and school.
Church,
Those are
home, and
the
school.
three.
That's it. We don't care about nothing else.
That's
Church, home, and school.
But no, my brother would show up to every football game, man. And I would say this, like I've learned a lot from him of things to do and also things not to do. Because, his mistakes, I learned from his mistakes, which I felt gave me a leg up with a lot of things as well.
Man, awesome stuff. Okay, so now you talk about you learning, and I know that we are success driven individuals while we still build relationships. But I want to know, a lot of people want success, right? And we see them all day. We know who they are, but they do not always want the process that produces
Sure.
success. So I think I'm talking to the right man to answer this question. What have you learned about sacrifice, consistency, and the becoming process on your journey to success?
I'll say, man, it's not always easy. It's not easy. It's not the glorified road that you see. If you look on social media, everybody shows you where they're at, but they don't show you the process to get there. And it takes, consistent effort. And I equate a lot of things in martial arts, but when I first started training, I didn't know anything. When I did jujitsu, I was getting choked out, every 30 seconds. Couldn't throw, I
Hold
couldn't
on,
throw.
Bruno.
you know,
They you
exactly.
tapping Bruno?
Exactly. Man, listen, and I thought I was the toughest thing smoking because I played football in high school and I'm coming in and I thought I was tough and I'm getting beat up. But one thing that motivated me to do is to get better, and I was in the gym, and I started training when I was in college. I was in the gym twice a day. Early in the morning, I'd go home, go to class, and come back in the evening, and I was just pushing it, pushing it, pushing it. And that repetition equal to me being able to compete against, way better guys at a point. And it's the same thing in business, real estate, like if you do the small things every day, you're only going to get better. And whatever image of success that is for you, whatever your goals are, you legit have to keep doing it, and that's how you gonna get there. You know,
All right. So we have to ask the tough questions. Are you ready for it?
I'm ready, man. I'm ready. I might stutter
Okay.
a little bit, but I'm ready.
So here's the tough question. You mentioned that you played football. You mentioned athletics. Athlete or ex-athlete? Which one are you?
I'm an athlete. I'm an
No
athlete.
hesitation.
No, no. Listen, I'm fighting actively. I'm in the gym every day. So current athlete. I
So
always be an
ladies,
athlete. I'm never gonna stop. I'll stop on my deathbed. That's
hey,
it.
so that goes back to the saying, don't let the old man in, right? Just don't let the old man in.
That's it.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, do not run upon Bruno in a dark alley or a lighted alley for that fact. So now here's where I want to go next. So you seem to value both instinct and preparation, right?
For sure.
So yes, we're going to have this instinctual side, knowing how to respond, but you also want to prepare.
For
How
sure.
do you know when to trust your gut versus when to slow down and think things through? Because I think this is a key for our audience because they might feel a way, but then they're saying, no, I might need to slow down. How do you know when to trust one or the other?
I would say this. It just made me think about getting ready for a fight, in general, right? When you spend, let's say you have a training camp, you have a month training camp, you're practicing, you're watching on tape on your opponents, you're getting ready, you're fine tuning all of your stuff, and you're drilling, drilling, drilling. And then when you get to the fight, it's almost you don't really think, you just follow what your body does, and that comes from all of the work and the drilling that you've done because you're so deep in the moment. And if you're in business, whatever it is, whatever you're practicing and preparing for, when that time comes, you'll be ready for it. You'll be able to react. So, and that gut feeling is like your reaction that comes from preparing beforehand. So I don't think there's not a way to follow your gut if you're not preparing. That's kind of what
So,
I've realized.
would you say that the better you prepare, the more instinctual you become?
100%. 100%.
Man, I'm loving that. Ladies and gentlemen, so for those of you who are saying, well, no, I'm just talented. No, I just lean on instinct. You're hearing it here from Bruno that the more you prepare, the better your instincts will be honed. So that's fantastic
100.
stuff. Can I keep getting personal, sir?
Of course, man. Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, now this is where you are not obligated. I want to say this on camera, ladies and gentlemen. You're not obligated to answer this question, but this is one where I believe that you can answer without maybe giving too much detail
Okay.
unless you want to. So, learning, I believe that experience is the best teacher, but it doesn't have to be our own experience, right?
I agree.
So I want to learn from you what has been one of the biggest internal battles that you've had to win in order to keep growing. So what could we take away? Something that we don't know, we don't see, but we're like, man, Bruno overcame this thing so he could keep becoming the man that he is and who he's going to be.
Yeah, I would say the big internal battle that I have, and I think I get it from, coming from like such a humble, I guess, humble background, is knowing that I'm like worthy of success, which a lot of
For
people
real.
wouldn't know if they just see me. So that's my internal battle.
Okay, so how does that play out? Because I'm sure that voice is loud, right? And so I tell people all the time that we're the only one that we talk to our entire lives, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you probably say things to yourself that you would never say to an opponent, even if it was a real life fight, right? So how do you win that battle?
Man, I put myself out there. I step out of my comfort zone. It's the only way to do it. I've been afraid a lot of times, even stepping in the ring, man. I'm like, holy, am I really about to do this? Yeah, and I go out there, man, and people don't see it. I put in this stoic face, but I'm in panic mode. I'm like, man, did I prepare enough? Did I hit the bags enough? Did I do enough sprints? Just that feeling, man. I get that. We're our own harshest critic. a lot of times I'm here like, man, this, we had actually had a conversation a while ago, and it was about something for social media, and I'm like, oh man, I don't like how I sound. I didn't post it. You looked at me, you're like, you got to post that up there, you know. So do,
And
and I got great feedback, amazing
okay,
feedback.
I was about to say, don't just stop right there. Tell them, ladies and gentlemen, I be knowing
So
what I'm talking about
no,
sometimes.
for sure,
Sometimes I
for sure. You man, you're a smart man. So
Hey,
yeah, man,
so hold on,
just
hold on,
put.
wait. Ladies and gentlemen, he did not say I'm smarter than I look. 'Cause he just said I'm a smart man. So y'all just take that and nibble on that a little bit. All right, Bruno, here's where, so I just have a personal, like, ladies and gentlemen, we're here beyond the velvet rope. I told you all as we started the episode, we're going beyond titles. What makes you want to fight? And I'm not talking about training because people could train martial arts, right? And
Uh-huh.
never fight. You fight.
Yeah.
Right? So what makes you say, I'm going to go beyond this title? Because right now, like can we keep it? We're gonna keep it a thou wow right here.
No, no, for sure, for sure.
It's trendy to say I train martial arts. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Oh, I go to the gym. I train jujitsu. Nah, I'm talking about, and that's just a class where you got the other, forgive me, the other yoga moms and y'all just in there rolling around. But you're in there training and you are fighting. What makes you want to fight or makes you willing to take it to that level, sir?
I'll say two things. One is just the test of like my mind. I want to test my mind.
Stop right there, Bruno. Hold on. Because many of us, and the reason I asked that question, and I thought you would give that answer, but I wasn't sure, because some of us, we don't want to do that thing that you're doing.
Yeah.
We would rather lie to ourselves and
Yeah.
say, I'm good enough. But you're just
Uh-huh.
testing your mind right off top. Go
No,
ahead.
100%, man. Because and when I say test my mind is all those voices that we're talking about, that fear and anxiety, all of that stuff. I don't want that to control me. And I want to go out there and I want to beat that battle because a lot of people think a fight is between you and another person. The fight is really between you and yourself. Win, lose, or draw. It's a lot of respect to be able to go in there. And when you go in there, you're going to with the mentality that you may die. It's a dangerous thing. So you go in that mentality and you kind of face life head on. There's nothing like it. I'll say it's exhilarating. And the second thing would be there's no way of being in the moment. And maybe there is, there's probably something like with adrenaline that makes you feel like so in the moment, but a fight is, there's no thinking to yourself. Like you're in the moment. You feel every second that passes is moving slow. And, you learn to actually, I'll tell you, the only voice that I could hear, it could be packed in there, it could be super loud. I just hear my coach's voice
Mhm.
yelling at me in the background. That's the only thing I could hear. Like, there's no in the
Man.
moment like being in a fight.
So Bruno said he never felt more alive than riding shotgun. Now, okay. So he feels alive in the moment where he could lose his life. So kudos to you, Bruno. And so now, speaking of that part, we're in a world where so many people are performing for attention, right? They're doing this stuff to get likes and clicks, to have someone say something. Maybe they want the title of influencer or content creator. How do you stay grounded in knowing who you really are? Because you mentioned social media. Now you're out there. You have one of the best, what I believe, best and most engaging social media followings of anyone I've ever seen. How do you stay grounded after winning, after being a champion, and you train with some high level world
Oh,
class
for
people?
sure. For sure.
How do you stay grounded when others would allow themselves to get the big head?
Yeah, I stay grounded, I would say, by just putting myself in uncomfortable positions and doing things that are out of my comfort zone. We spoke about it when I did that fasting recently, doing something like that where um, it makes you just realize how blessed we are and how things can change in a second too, So just being able, we take for granted just being able to drink water whenever we want, eating whenever we want, and doing certain things like that. It just takes me back to reality, I would say.
Okay, now you've mentioned, so we know that you have hobbies, right? I know you have a pet, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and you love your dog, right?
100%,
And
100%.
we're not going to tell you all his dog's name because I don't want you all to try to take the dog for ransom and then have to get beat up by Bruno. Okay. So you're a pet lover, you love nature, you're in real estate, you love martial arts, you're a family guy. How important is it for ambitious people, entrepreneurs, to develop identities beyond what they do for work? Right. And that's why I love when I said, "Who are you?" You did not lead with your work identity.
Yeah.
How important is it for us to identify with something besides, "Hey, hi, Bruno, my name is Neil. I'm a real estate agent." They'd be like, "Oh no, you're so much more than that."
Right? Yeah.
But go ahead and give me your viewpoint on that.
I'll say this, man, we're so complex, and to just put us in one bag is a disservice to yourself.
Yeah.
We're a whole lot, and, we have a lot more to offer than this is what I do for work.
Man, so because you are a crocodile hunter, right? And so now I'm definitely going to use that. You did a post on social media a few weeks ago, and it was talking about personal growth. And
Mhm.
I saw a number of comments, and they were like, "Yep, that's who you are. Like you just believe in personal growth, self-development, self-improvement is a key fundamental part of your foundation." What
100%.
does personal growth look like for you in this season of your life?
What does it looks man, what does it look like to me? Man, that's a good question, man. That's a
Hey, man, see that's why I make the big bucks, ladies and gentlemen. I throw the questions out there for the guests, and then I leave them looking for answers.
You're right, man. Personal growth, what does it look like for me? I would say, man, it's growing as a man, being better every day. And that spans, spiritually, being better spiritually, getting closer to God, closer to my family, because I know how imbalanced life can get. Sometimes we focus too much on business and we forget the purpose of growing that business is to bond and spend time with our family. So growing with my family, growing my business as well. Obviously, that's very important because I want to leave a legacy to my future kids and have something to teach them. Also, man, to giving back to the world. I'd say giving back to the world because I've been given so much. I've got a loving mother who's been there, who's taught me a lot. My brother, my godfather, my father, my coaches. I've been given so much that I feel like I have to give something back. So that's progress for me.
Hey, man,
I'm not sure if I answered that question. I might
hey,
have got
you no, you answered it because you shared from the heart. And so I love all of that. Now, you mentioned when I said, tell us something about who you are. And you said you're in the airline industry, right? And
yes.
so being in the airline industry, you come across a lot of people. Is that fair for me to say?
Oh, a ton,
You
a
come
ton.
across a lot of personalities. Is
Good
that
and bad, good and bad.
and so you come across many people, many personalities, right?
Yeah,
Cultures all across the board.
100%.
Okay. What have you learned about people by watching people?
Man, I would say people like to feel heard. People like to be heard, not feel. They like to be heard. So that's kind of one of the biggest things that I've come to realize. I mean, that's in a positive situation, negative situation. If you make somebody feel heard, it could change the dynamics of or outcomes of like whatever is going on, good or bad.
And so how are you making sure that people are heard when they're interacting with you? Is there something that like is there a go-to? Is there a technique? Is it just who you are? If I'm talking to you, what are you doing to make me know that you're present with me, that you're hearing what I'm saying?
Actively listening to you, not listening to respond, really getting to understand like what it is you're talking about and even, relaying some of that information when you say something like relaying it to make sure I understand correctly. I would say that's something I picked up.
I know that you are a reader, Bruno.
Yeah.
And you don't just read the light stuff, the entertaining the stuff
No,
like
no.
you just were in Robert Greene's Mastery.
One of my favorite authors.
So how important has diving into the written word, right? Diving into books and just information and knowledge and experiences from others. How has that shaped who you are and what you are building into the future?
It's so funny. I'm actually gonna backtrack a little bit. I don't know, maybe I answer a question that you're probably gonna ask in the future, but I've always been a reader from when I was a little kid and whatnot. I had went through a point in life when I stopped reading, and I went through like a complacent period. I call it complacent because I was just
What age, if I may ask,
I was
did you get complacent?
from 23 to about 26.
So this is when you're an adult and you made the decision. And so now no one's telling you to read. There are no assignments for you to read.
Exactly.
This is the man, Bruno.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Continue.
So I went through this phase, man, and I would say I went away from who I was, and I was kind of like, you know, I would say lost in a sense. I was just kind of going through the motions, and I felt it, but I got a reality check when COVID happened, and the world went crazy, and I realized, and it was like a to me, COVID was bittersweet, you know? I know a lot of people lost people. For me, it opened my eyes to a lot of things. And I realized that I had lost myself per se, and I had to find myself again. So that's when I kind of got back to like my nature of like reading books. And I was like, you know what? I haven't been learning. I haven't been teaching myself anything. And I went through a couple years not training martial arts. So I got back into training martial arts. I got back into reading, what reading, being a reader, what it's taught me is I could learn lessons from, there's so many people that have experienced life, and there's so many lessons we could take from their experiences so we don't, go down the same path. And that's what really got me back into, finding myself, and reading has helped me find myself, because it has opened my mind up to so many possibilities. And even a question you asked me before, where it's like, also, how do I battle those voices that are
Hmm.
trying to tell me I'm not good enough, man? I get it from reading, reading, what is it? Miyamoto Musashi, Robert Greene, all this stuff, man. Um, it has definitely, helped me progress in life, or progress in how I see life.
Man, that's fantastic stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, pick up a book and read. And in my opinion, that's not optional, right? I don't tell people what they should do, but this is one of those times where I'm telling you, pick up a book and read. Okay, so now as you continue, Bruno, to build your life and your brand, right? The fighting agent and everything around you,
Yes.
what are you becoming more intentional about? So you're because I'm looking at you, and you might not realize this because you're on the inside, right? I'm looking at you and I'm seeing this thing go like this. And then it feels like it's going like this. Pretty soon it's
Yeah.
going like, so what are you becoming more intentional about in this season for you?
I would say focusing on the social media aspect, and putting myself out there, being open to critique, and
That's
you know,
hard, isn't it?
for sure. For sure.
And this is where I tell everyone I believe that everyone should do some type of sport where they have to be coached, right? Because I
I
just
agree.
think that it's just something about having someone yell at you, critique you,
Yeah.
criticize, break you down to build you up, right? And I don't think there's
Gotcha.
anything better than a coach in sports. The right coaches and the good coaches get
I
that
agree.
done.
I agree.
Okay, so what are you intentional about leaving behind as you grow? And don't say anybody's name because I don't want their name to be like, oh, I found out on Beyond the Velvet Rope that Bruno leaving me behind. So
Le-
you told us what you are intentional about social media, getting out there, not being afraid? What are you intentional about leaving behind as you go to the next level?
I would say leaving behind, and it's hard to say leaving behind, just because a lot of times we go through like daily battles that we'll continue to fight, but that mindset of not being good enough, or that little voice of not being good enough, you know, because I'm worthy of everything that God has put on my plates. That's that.
Boy, spoken like a true champion. Ladies and gentlemen, Beyond the Velvet Rope, Neil Oates Jr. with Bruno Jean, John, Jean. He says, as long as there's respect tied to it, he is okay with it. All right, so we're coming to the close, but I cannot let you get out of here without having more fun than we've already had. Are you ready, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now my legal department, who does not really exist, told me to tell you that you are not obligated to answer any of these questions. Are you ready?
Got it.
Okay. Favorite color?
Blue.
Why?
It's like blue.
That's it. So no. You just like
Actually, you know what? Listen, I'm actually gonna switch it up because this has changed recently. I'm actually gonna say
okay.
green, because when I wear green, it just suits me. So green
uh,
is my new favorite color. Yeah.
Green is his new favorite color, and he said, "Listen, y'all can put some more in his pockets too." I do want to pause here and say that all of Bruno's contact info, all of his socials where you can find him, follow him, connect with him are going to be in the show notes and the description. Everything from his social to his real estate, you're going to want to know and see and follow and become engaged in what Bruno is doing, because he is going to be one of these people who's already changing the world, and you want to get part of the winning team early before he start charging fees, right? All right. All right, we're gonna continue. Favorite food.
Favorite food. Ooh, I'm gonna have to go to my culture, man. I'm gonna have to say "Dîner avec légumes."
Hey,
You
now
haven't
hold on.
tried
Now,
it?
now you said it so smooth, and I saw you just tasted it then. All right,
I love to eat.
break down the dish for us. What is
So,
this?
it depends on the rice, but dili is rice. So, we make rice in a bunch of different kind of ways. My favorite rice that we make is it's like a black rice, and it's called dili jonjon. So it's like made with like a black mushroom. Amazing. And legume is kind of like a dish where it's like a stewed greens. It has like spinach. It has all kinds of like greens in it, and they put different kinds of meat. You could do oxtail. You can make goat. You could do whatever everybody else cooks it with, because everybody does it differently. And you just put the greens on the rice.
Okay,
Amazing.
so hold on. Now this is one I want you to think before you answer.
All
You
right.
says everyone makes it differently.
Yeah.
Is there someone that makes it for you or with the family that theirs is
My mom makes the best, man.
no
My
hesitation?
mom makes the best. She's number one.
Mommy,
Yeah.
you number
Listen,
one.
some people might come for me, man, but she's number one. I don't care what nobody says.
Hey, so Bruno, you gonna have family members tell me, nah, taste it again. Nah, come over here, try mine.
Yeah,
Bruno
I'll
gonna be
say
like,
this, yeah. My mom, you know what? My mom and my godfather's mom, they're like 1 and 2, and they alternate depending on what they're making, but for me, nobody could beat them.
come on, man. I absolutely love it. Okay, now this one for real. Don't answer this one. A nickname that only your family calls you.
A nickname, Boo Boo. Or yeah, I'll give you another one. I'll give you another. Minoke. Minoke.
Okay,
That's
and
from my dad. That's from my dad's side. He always calls me Minoke. It's like I don't even know what it means, to be honest. It's like little boy or something. I have no idea.
hey, okay, so I'm just saying, I see you. We're at the real estate event, Bruno, in the high rise luxury building. I see you across. Boo boo.
Yeah, I'm gonna start.
Acceptable or unacceptable?
No, we can't say that in public. Oh man.
Ladies and gentlemen, so for all of you who are training and at the gym with Boo Boo, don't y'all say nothing wrong to this guy. Y'all know, yeah. Hey, you could try it. Hey,
The dangerous
you
man
might get.
over here.
Hey, you might get tapped out. You might have to tap out, get choked out. What is one talent or skill that you do not have, but you wish you did?
talent or skill? Man, I wish I could jump high because I would have been a D1 football player, defensive.
Are you light men can't jump? Is that what you are?
Legit, man. Legit, it's true. I played quarterback in high school because I'm not gonna lie, I was slow as molasses.
Bruno, but you're in so you're ladies and so you're like the skateboarder guys, right? Who don't look athletic, but they're athletic, but we don't do
Yep.
certain things unless we have the
Certain
right
things
tools
I'm
to
just
do them.
not listen, I'm not speed-wise, I'm not fast, and, I can't jump high, but there's a lot of things I could do. I had a strong arm, I could throw the football, and I could kick really well.
And so you took that. You said, "Hey, listen, here's what I'm going to do." Martial arts idiots, and
That's
plus I'm
it.
tired of my 6-year-old brother to beating me up,
Exactly.
who's 6 years
Exactly.
older than me.
Listen,
Okay,
I had, some boxing rounds with him too. I had to kinda make up for a lot of those losses, you know?
did you?
Of course.
Hold on. Okay, now wait. Is he formally trained or no?
No, 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 no.
So you just got him in the ring and beat him up?
Yeah, I just said, "Hey, man, let's put on some gloves, let's have a little fun." Yeah.
It wasn't fun for your brother?
It wasn't, but he quit real quick. He was like, "Alright, I'm done."
He said, "Hey, time out. There's nothing worse." And so you all were grown at this age, right?
You were grown, yep.
So there's nothing worse than a grown man having like stop hitting
Exactly,
me. Like
exactly. Listen,
stop.
you know what it is with brothers, man, there's always some competitive juices there, you know? Even if I've been training, he hasn't trained, he's like, "Nah, I could take that's my little brother, I could take
He
him."
like, "That's still my little brother. I don't care how
Uh-huh.
many
Right.
rounds. I don't care what color belt you got, but I would take your belt off and whoop you with it." Man. Okay. So do you watch movies or not before I ask this next question?
I do watch movies for sure.
Okay. So what is one movie, if it's on, no matter how many times you've seen it,
Ooh,
no matter
ooh,
what you already know what you already
I
know?
I already know, man.
Can I finish the question?
I'm sorry, active listener, I got an active listener, I'm sorry about that.
Nah, you got excited. Tell us this movie that's stopping you in your tracks every time.
It is Lord of the Rings. That's my
Come on, bruh.
number 1 book, number 1 movie of all time. Shout out to J.R. Tolkien. I know. I know.
You are a nerd. What are you
I know,
what?
man. I know. So I got these glasses on.
Lord of the Rings. And so are you in the entire franchise you just in? Or is it
Listen, I've been reading. I've read probably most of his books. I had a at like my imagination was crazy when I was, young. So I lived in that world for years, you know? Yeah, nobody knows that. Not too many. My close family, they know about it, but not too many people know about that.
you geek out heavy on Lord of the Rings. You're like, man, and so you quoting it and everything.
Like, I'm not gonna say quote, but I know pretty much everything. I know more than what most people know from the movies because I've read the books. So, that's like my Game of Thrones. That's what all the people are to Game of Thrones. Lord of the Rings is that to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Understood. All right. So now let's say you have a chance to talk to 10-year-old Bruno. What do
Mhm.
you tell him?
What would I tell them? Man, I would say stay disciplined, stay focused. Don't take any breaks. Keep pushing, and it's gonna pay off. It's gonna
Best
pay off.
piece of advice you've ever received.
Man, off the top of my head, shout out to my godfather. Nothing in life is free.
Ooh, Godfather sounds like that guy. Is he that guy?
He's that guy, man. He's crazy, but he's that guy.
I absolutely love it. Bruno Jean, what else would you like to say to the audience before we get out of here today, sir?
Man, this has been amazing. I'd say, man, I've never opened up this much to something so that'll be so public. So I would say that it's cool. It's a cool experience. Just putting myself out there as always.
So Bruno, so brother, from man to man, brother to brother, I want to tell you, thank you, dude. I don't take it lightly, right? So when you tell me that this is your first podcast, that's an honor for me. And the reason being because when I asked, you said yes immediately. right? So, and then for you to share that with me today, and then for you to mention that you've opened up here more publicly, I am honored. I know our audience is going to be better for it. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure that you go to the show notes or the description, look up everything, click on all of the links that's there for Bruno so you can follow his journeys. I'm telling you, if you want to be part of an engaged online digital platform, make sure you follow him. Some of the best people. And so real quick, let's go there. So, ladies and gentlemen, we ain't done yet. Bruh, you have a community unlike any other community that I've seen, whether it's virtual and then you let us into your world a little bit. Man, what does it feel like to have a community like that, man?
Man, you know what, man? I feel like I've made so many like great relationships along, the time that I've spent in life from like training partners to, you know, people I've studied with, all this stuff. And no, it feels amazing, man. My mom, it's funny because my mom laughs at me. I had put her on a call with a friend of mine and she goes, "Oh, we know too friendly. He has a lot of friends, you know?" And it's funny because like the Caribbean household, my mom was like, "Oh, you can't have friends." Growing up, she doesn't want me to have friends, but I don't know, man. I've always bonded with people, man. I meet great people who, they have a lasting impact on me, even if it's like something short. And I guess I have the same with them because, people, we always stay in touch. So it's
Man, when I say that it is a gift. And so now I'm going to ignore Bruno for a moment, ladies and gentlemen. To everyone that is in Bruno's community, that's in his network, I want to tell you all thank you for having a positive impact on Bruno, for having a positive impact on the world. You all are rare and you all are appreciated. So, coming from someone who has not met you, someone who may never meet you, the impact that you're having because of the impact you're having through Bruno on Bruno. It is something refreshing in this day and age. I just want to thank them. Now back to our regularly scheduled program. Bruno, it has been an honor. It's been a privilege, brother. I love you, man. I can't wait for the next episode that we do together. I would say I can't wait to train with you, but that's a lie. So we're not doing that, ladies and gentlemen. We're just gonna hang out in a nice little social setting and we'll drink a tea or a coffee and have some great conversation.
listen,
I'm
I
going
know
to
martial artists that'll drink some whiskey too, man. So don't we gotta humanize it.
You
That's
see, you see how big my whiskey cup is. No, I'm just kidding. Ladies and gentlemen, it's water. Relax. Everybody's gonna have their little undies in a bunch, and they're like, "Man, that's a big whiskey cup, right?" So I'm going to leave you like we always do, and that is that we love you, God loves you. There's nothing you could do about it. And until the next time we see you or you see us, don't be average, be world renowned. Peace.
peace.